Hello, my wonderful people. Una good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on the time we be say una take come across this video. My name na Owa. For this video, we won't talk about how your residence fit take affect your application for Italian citizenship. Because if e no complete the requirement wey dem talk, dem fit reject your domanda for Italian citizenship. Dis thing don affect some pipu. How dem don spend money and all dat, at the end dem come reject their domanda because their residence never complete. So the requirement for Italian citizenship for those wey get asilo political document na 5 years continuously without any break, without say space no dey say you take dey Italy without residence. Den those wey be say dem get subsidiary and those wey get normal document na 10 years resident without any break. If any break dey, no be continuous 10 years resident, you need to cover am up. Based on say many pipu no know about dis thing, dem no cover am up, e come affect dem when dem wan apply for their Italian citizenship. So for dis video, I go explain to una how you go take calculate am, whether your residence don complete the exact 10 years or 5 years, to avoid say dem come reject your domanda wey you don spend money. So first thing first, resident for Italy na when you come Italy, for instance, maybe you rent house or person write resident for you. Dey go carry you go Comuni, you go register, say see where I dey stay, and vigil go come your house, come control am whether the house dey suitable for people to stay. Because for Italy, no be all house na person fit stay, na im fit use take do resident. One vigil don come your house, don talk say dis house dey okay, you come go Comuni, you come go do wetin dey call carta di identità. Dat carta di identità na Italian identity card to take show say see dis person, see how e tall reach, see how e short reach, the colour of e hair, the colour of e eye. And for Italy, normally dat document get 10 years validity from the day wey dem issue am give you. E no mean say dat carta identità na 10 years validity mean say your residence don complete 10 years. No, no be so e mean. So make we go straight to how e take dey affect pipu, the space wey dey inside. If for instance maybe you still dey camp, dem still carry you go Comuni go register, dem come give you carta d'identità, dat very day wey be say you go Comuni don issue carta d'identità give you, don do resident, make I make for instance 1st of January 2010 for instance so. If dat 1st of January 2010 you still dey the same house, dey pay house rent, or you dey stay with person, your husband, anyone, you no comot for there at all, 10 years just complete without say you no comot, you no change house, you no lose residence, e meaning say 2020 January 1st you fit apply for Italian citizenship. Normally from January 2nd you fit apply for Italian citizenship because na 10 years continuously without any break. If for instance you don do dat resident finish, maybe na for camp dem for give you or anything, den maybe after 3 years, 4 years, you come lose the residence, maybe you don comot for dat camp, dem cut am and you no know, or you first dey dis house and person write am give you, you no come get document, you come lose the residence. Make I just say for instance, period of 2 years for Italy or 3 years, you dey without residence, or 2 years you dey without residence, e fit be 1 year, depends on how long e take before you take get another house, rent get residence. So dat period of 2 years or 3 years wey be say you dey Italy without residence, you need to cover am up. How you take cover am up? If the resident direct from 2010 January to 2020 January, you no change house, you no change anything, you still dey dat house, den na direct 10 years, no space for inside. If you don get any break, you don dey without residence for Italy, dat 1 year o, 2 years o, 3 years o, space don dey, dat space you need to cover am up. Meaning say maybe after 3 years or after 2 years den you come get residence again, meaning you no come apply for Italian citizenship for 2020, you come wait for 2023 to apply for citizenship. Dats if you still get residence o, to cover dat space up wey be say you dey Italy without residence. If you no cover dat space up, if you apply for Italian citizenship, dem fit reject your domanda because e never complete 10 years resident. Now the same thing still dey happen to people wey be say dem apply for um ready to the shita den answer because their 10 years resident never complete. So how you go take know say your 10 years resident never complete or e don complete? Because some pipu dey no know when camp take cut their resident, or dey no know because some pipu dey fit comot for dat house for instance go rent another house, no fit do resident. E dey possible say person no rent dat house, e go dey there and your resident go still dey count. E dey possible like dat. So comot dey, maybe nobody rent the house, den you all dey there, if nobody dey there, your resident fit dey count. E dey possible. I don see person wey e happen to. So to dey very sure say your resident don complete 10 years, e get one document you dey do wey dey call Certificato Storico della Residenza. If you wan still apply for Italian citizenship, you still dey need the same document. So dis document na document to show say see when you take come dat comune and see when you take comot for dat comune. If you be the type wey e be say you still dey dat comune, dey go still write am for there, dis person dey dis comune dis date until now e still dey dis comune. Dem dey call am Certificato Storico della Residenza. So if you wan apply for Italian citizenship, wetin you go do? Dey still dey ask, but some pipu no dey calculate am by their self before dey apply. So if you know say you don due for Italian citizenship, before you go do the normal process, legalization and all that, first of all, go get wetin dey call Certificato Storico della Residenza. Normally dey ask for marca da bollo, while some comune no dey ask. If dey ask, dey go ask wetin you wan use am do. If you tell am say for citizenship, dey fit ask you for marca da bollo. So dat certificate na you go by yourself calculate am. If e be say you don stay for like 3 or 4 comune for Italy, each comune wey be say you don stay for Italy, you go go there, ask dem make dem give you Certificato Storico della Residenza. So with dat certificate, you go fit see when you take enter dat comune and when you take comot for dat comune. So you by yourself go calculate am. If the space wey be say e dey between your residence, you don cover am up already, you go calculate am by yourself, because na dis document na dem dey ask if you wan apply for Italian citizenship. Den prefectura by their side go come calculate am. If dey find out say e never complete 10 years, na den dem for dey reject your domanda of citizenship. So you by yourself, before you apply, if you dey prepare to apply, go get dis certificate. If you don stay for 4 comune for Italy, don do resident, no be only stay the comune. If you don do resident for like 3, 4, 5 comune for Italy, each comune wey you don stay, you go go there go do wetin dem dey call Certificato Storico della Residenza. Go get those paper by yourself, calculate am whether e don complete the resident requirement to apply for citizenship. If e never complete, you go make sure say any gap wey e dey, you need to wait, fill in the gap before you apply for Italian citizenship. So if any gap dey, if you don calculate am, if any gap dey, you go make sure say you fill dat gap wey e dey ground to avoid say dem reject your domanda of Italian citizenship. Some pipu sef, ordinary 3 months gap, dey fit reject their domanda because some prefectura dey very wicked, while some ordinary 2 months gap, dey fit reject your domanda because normally if you wan apply for Italian citizenship, dey go tell you say make you just wait. If na maybe na on the 1st of January na go make am 10 years, dey go come tell you say from on the 2nd or on the 3rd of January, you fit apply. No apply a day before, always a day after. So some prefectura, even if na 1 month na remain to complete 10 before you apply, dey fit reject your domanda for citizenship. So make we dey very careful. Go get wetin dey call Storico della Residenza. Na dat one be the certificate to show see when you take come the comune and when you take comot for the comune, or see when you take come dis comune until date dis person still dey dis comune. So with dat thing, you go calculate am by yourself to know whether you don qualify to apply for Italian citizenship or not. Thank you and remain blessed.